Every night you go to bed hoping next month will be different. You promise yourself you'll save more, spend less, finally get ahead. But when the month ends, you're still in the same place, the same stress, the same pressure, the same financial loop that feels impossible to escape. Peter Lynch understood this problem better than anyone. He said something brutally honest. People don't lose money in the stock market. They lose it in their everyday life. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're lazy, but because the world never taught them how money actually works. And today, I'm going to show you the life-changing rule Peter Lynch used, a rule so simple, so powerful, that it can finally break this cycle for you. A rule that helped him turn small amounts of money into life-changing wealth, and helped millions of people stop wasting money without even realizing it. This isn't a budgeting trick. It's not a motivational slogan. It's a mindset shift, one that flips a switch inside your brain and makes you see money in a completely new way. Because most people don't need a higher salary. They don't need a miracle. They don't need to get lucky. What they really need is to stop the silent leaks, the invisible habits that drain their money slowly, quietly, until there's nothing left to save or invest. Peter Lynch's rule exposes those leaks. It shows you exactly where your money is going, why you feel stuck, and how to take back control starting today. And once you understand it, you will never look at your spending the same way again. This is where your new financial life begins. The rule that changes everything. So, why do most people stay stuck? Why does life keep repeating the same financial pattern month after month, year after year? Peter Lynch believed the answer was simple. Most people don't actually know where their money goes. They work hard, they pay bills, they try to save. But the truth is, they're operating on financial autopilot. Money comes in, money goes out, but the reason it disappears, that part stays invisible. Lynch noticed something powerful. He said people study everything except their own spending habits. They study celebrities. They study sports teams. They study gossip. They study trends. But they don't study themselves. And that's where his rule becomes life-changing. Know what you own and why you own it. At first, it sounds like an investing rule, but Lynch used it for everything. His money, his lifestyle, his purchases. Because here's the truth. Most people don't know why they buy what they buy. They buy from emotion. They buy from habit. They buy because everyone else does. And when emotional spending becomes normal, financial stress becomes permanent. But Lynch's rule cuts through the fog. It forces you to ask, why am I buying this? Does this improve my life? Is this a need or a habit? If this were an investment, would I still choose it? When you start asking these questions, something incredible happens. You begin to see the truth. You begin to notice the leaks. You begin to understand that your financial future is shaped by the tiny choices you make every day. Lynch said, if you can't explain a purchase, you probably don't need it. That one sentence has saved people more money than any budgeting app ever could. Because financial freedom doesn't begin when you make more money. It begins the moment you start understanding the money you already have. And this rule is the door to that understanding.
The silent killer of wealth, lifestyle creep. Let's talk about the enemy that destroys more wealth than bad stocks, recessions, or market crashes. Lifestyle creep. It's silent, it's sneaky, and it ruins your financial future without you even noticing. Peter Lynch warned about this repeatedly because he saw it every day in the people who came to him for advice. They didn't have a money problem. They had a lifestyle problem. How lifestyle creep actually works. Think back to the first time you got a real job. Maybe your salary wasn't huge, but you felt proud. You learned to survive with that income. You stayed within your limits. Now, fast forward. You get a better job, a higher salary, a promotion. Logically, you should be saving more, right? But that's not what happens. You upgrade your phone. You upgrade your meals. You upgrade your clothes. You upgrade your apartment. Suddenly, your new income disappears just as fast as your old income. This is lifestyle creep. Your expenses rise at the exact same speed as your income. You're making more money, but you're not keeping more money. Peter Lynch's warning. Lynch once said, "People think wealth is created by how much they earn, but it's actually created by how much they don't spend." This is powerful, because in real life, your income doesn't determine your financial future. Your habits do. Lynch believed that controlling lifestyle creep is more important than picking the right stocks. Why? Because even a 20% return means nothing if you're spending 100% of what you earn. The psychology behind it. Lifestyle creep doesn't happen because people are greedy. It happens because of emotional pressure. You want to reward yourself. You want to feel successful. You want to match friends, coworkers, or influencers. You want to prove to yourself that life is improving. But here's the truth Lynch emphasized. If luxury becomes normal, it stops being luxury and starts becoming a trap. A simple test Peter Lynch suggested. Ask yourself only one question. If I lost my income today, how long could I survive? If the answer is a few days, a few weeks, or even a few months, then you're not in control of money. Money is in control of you. Lynch said this single question reveals more about your financial health than your salary, assets, or job title. A real-world example. Imagine your salary increases by $300 a month. Most people immediately get a nicer subscription, upgrade their internet, order more food, shop a little more, buy nicer gadgets. Suddenly, the entire $300 disappears before the month even ends. But someone following Peter Lynch's rule does this. $150 goes to investments, $100 goes to savings, and $50 goes to reward yourself money. This structure protects you from lifestyle creep and slowly builds real wealth. Not glamorous, not flashy, but extremely powerful. What Lynch wanted people to understand. Lifestyle creep is not a spending problem. It's a self-control problem. And unless you fix this, no amount of income, no investment strategy, no stock market guidance will ever make you financially free. You can't invest what you don't keep. This is why Lynch believed, wealth isn't built by what you make, it's built by what you refuse to waste. The rule that changes everything. Know exactly where your money goes. Peter Lynch believed something most people don't want to hear. You are not broke because life is expensive. You are broke because you don't know where your money is going. This was one of his most repeated lessons because he saw it destroy people from the inside. People think they know their spending, but when asked about it, they guess, they estimate, they think they remember. But Lynch said, if you can't measure it, you can't control it. The hidden truth. Most people live on autopilot. Every day you make financial decisions without realizing it. It's only $5, I'll grab a coffee. It's only $12, I'll order delivery. It's only $7, this subscription is useful. It's only $15, I'll upgrade this app. It's only, until one day, your bank balance is gone and you don't even remember where it went. Peter Lynch called this death by 1,000 tiny expenses. You're not overspending in one big place. You're overspending in 50 small places you never noticed. Lynch's most practical rule. This rule is simple. Track every dollar for 30 days. Every single dollar. Not to judge yourself, not to punish yourself, but to wake up. Because the moment you see the truth on paper, you change. You realize that your small expenses are not small. They are the biggest threat to your future. Why this rule works, the psychology behind it. Tracking your spending forces your brain to do 3 things. 1. Awareness. You understand your real habits, not the version you pretend to have. 2. Accountability. When you write down every purchase, you naturally start asking yourself, do I really want to write this down? This alone cuts spending by 20 to 30%. 3. Correction. You identify leaks, subscriptions you forgot, food you don't need, habits that drain you. This is where change begins. Peter Lynch's example. Lynch loved telling this story. A man came to him complaining, "I don't know why I can't save money." Lynch asked for his monthly spending. The man said, "I don't spend much, maybe $1,200. Lynch asked him to actually track it for 1 month. The final result? He wasn't spending $1,200, he was spending $2,640, more than double what he thought. This is why Lynch said, the easiest way to save money is to stop lying to yourself about your spending. Why people don't track their spending? It's not because it's hard. It's not because they don't have time. It's because they're afraid of the truth. Afraid to see how much food delivery is costing. Afraid to see how often subscriptions pile up. Afraid to see how often emotion controls their wallet. Lynch said, "Your money tells the story of your life." Most people are scared to read that story. The magic of the 30-day rule. Here's the beautiful part. After 30 days, everything becomes clear. You see your patterns. You see your weaknesses. You see the leaks. And you gain the one power that makes people rich. Control. Not luck, not talent, not high income. Control. Because once you know exactly where your money goes, you can finally decide where you want it to go. And that single change is the beginning of financial freedom.
The silent money traps that keep you broke. Peter Lynch believes something most people never notice. People don't go broke from one big mistake. They go broke from small habits repeated for years. These habits become invisible. They feel normal. They become routine. But together, they quietly drain your wealth faster than any market crash. Today, you're going to discover the 4 silent money traps Lynch warned people about. Traps that look harmless. Traps that feel comfortable, but traps that keep millions financially stuck. Let's break each one down. Trap 1. Emotional spending. The wallet controlled by feelings. Peter Lynch said, the most dangerous time to spend money is when you're stressed. Why? Because your brain tries to buy relief. Bad day? Buy food. Feeling lonely? Buy snacks. Feeling bored? Buy apps. Feeling exhausted? Order delivery. Most people don't buy things, they buy feelings. Comfort, relief, distraction, escape. And the worst part? It works for 10 minutes. Then the stress returns and the money is gone. This is how emotional spending becomes a never-ending cycle. Lynch believed the moment you let emotions control money, you lose both. Trap 2. The convenience loop. Paying extra for time you waste anyway. People love convenience. Food delivered to the door, groceries delivered to the door, clothes delivered to the door, everything delivered. But Lynch warned, convenience is the new luxury tax. You're paying an extra 20 to 50% not for the product, but for the convenience. And here's the irony. You pay to save time and then waste the time you saved scrolling on your phone. Convenience makes life easier, but it makes money disappear faster. Trap 3. Lifestyle drift. When your income rises, but your bank account doesn't. Most people expect more income equals more savings. But Lynch said more income often means more problems. Because the moment people earn more, they upgrade everything. A better phone, a better car, a better apartment, a better wardrobe. They don't improve their future, they only improve their image. This is why a person earning $1,000 can save $200, but a person earning $4,000 sometimes can't save even $50. Lifestyle drift makes income meaningless, because no matter how much you earn, you stay stuck. Trap 4. The I deserve it mentality, the most dangerous sentence. Lynch always warned about this one. After a long day, after working hard, after feeling drained, people tell themselves,
I deserve it. And suddenly, they deserve a new phone. They deserve new shoes. They deserve a weekend trip. They deserve the expensive version. But Lynch said, you don't reward yourself with debt. You reward yourself with freedom. This mindset keeps the poor, poor. Not because they don't work hard, but because every reward pushes their dreams further away. Why these traps feel impossible to escape? Because they don't hurt immediately. You don't feel the damage today. You feel it 10 years later, when you have no savings, no investments, no safety, no peace. Peter Lynch called this future pain caused by present comfort. Your current comfort steals your future freedom. But the moment you see these traps, you can finally break them. The turning point begins here. Peter Lynch believed that awareness is the first step to wealth. Once you recognize your emotional patterns, your convenience habits, your lifestyle drift, your I deserve it moments, your life changes. Because traps only work when you don't see them coming. And now, you see them clearly. Peter Lynch's money multiplier rule, the rule that changes everything. Peter Lynch believed there is one rule that separates people who stay broke from people who become financially free. He called it the money multiplier rule. And it's simple. Every dollar you keep is a worker. Every dollar you waste is a prisoner. Most people don't realize this. They think money is something to spend. Lynch thought money is something to employ. Because every dollar has a job, to grow, to multiply, to work for you even when you're sleeping. But the problem? Most people fire their money the moment they earn it. They spend it on food they don't need, subscriptions they don't use, gadgets that lose value, comforts that disappear in a week. Instead of letting money multiply, they let it evaporate. Lynch believed wealth is not built by earning more. It's built by letting your money work longer. The formula behind the rule? Peter Lynch often explained this in the simplest possible way. $1 invested becomes $10. $10 invested becomes $100. $100 becomes $1,000 if you give it time. Time is the multiplier, not intelligence, not luck, not timing the market. Time. But for time to work, you need money that stays invested. And that means one thing. You must stop killing your future workers. Every pointless purchase today destroys money that could have multiplied every year for decades. The painful but powerful example. Imagine this. You buy a $300 phone upgrade. Feels good today. Looks nice today. Zero impact tomorrow. But Lynch wants you to ask, what could that $300 become if you let it multiply for 20 years? At just 10% growth per year. $300 becomes $2,020. One small decision cost you $1,720 of future wealth. Now imagine you make this mistake every month, every year, every decade. Now you understand why most people are broke. It's not because they don't earn. It's because they never let money multiply. The moment you understand this rule, your life changes. Peter Lynch believed you don't need to be rich to become rich. You only need to let money grow. The money you save today may look small, but the money you will have tomorrow will shock you. Because multiplication is invisible at first. $50 saved feels small. $100 invested feels slow. But after years of multiplying, $50 becomes $500. $100 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $10,000. And $10,000 becomes $100,000. And this is why Lynch said the biggest mistake is starting late. If you start now, your money has time to grow. If you wait, your future disappears. The hard truth Lynch wanted everyone to accept. Most people stay broke not because they don't earn, but because they never give money a chance to grow. They interrupt its growth. They spend it too early. They destroy the multiplier. Peter Lynch called this financial self-sabotage. And the only antidote is simple. Start letting your money multiply today. Even a small amount, even $1. Because $1 that multiplies is more powerful than $100 wasted. The transformation starts now. The moment you understand this one rule, your relationship with money changes forever. You stop asking, "Can I afford this today?" You start asking, "What will this become in 20 years?" One question kills the impulse. The other one builds the future. Turning small savings into massive wealth, Lynch's investing philosophy. Peter Lynch didn't just talk about saving money. He talked about making money work smarter. He said, invest in what you understand. Invest in what you know. Let your money do the heavy lifting. This is where most people fail. They try to get rich fast, buy random stocks, or chase the latest financial trends. Lynch's rule is different. The power of familiarity. Lynch believed your daily life is a guide to smart investing. See a product you love? Notice a company that's growing fast? Pay attention. He called this investing in what you know. Because if you understand a business, you understand its potential. And understanding reduces risk. It turns your small savings into deliberate growth. The compounding secret. Peter Lynch loved to emphasize compounding. He said, time is the friend of the wonderful business, the enemy of the mediocre. Every dollar invested in a growing company doesn't just sit there. It multiplies every year. Dividends are reinvested. Profits are reinvested. And slowly, over years, decades even, your money snowballs into something unimaginable. The 10x mentality. Peter Lynch often searched for 10 baggers, investments that could grow tenfold. But here's the key. He didn't look for luck. He looked for small, consistent gains that multiply over time. Even if you can't find a 10x today, investing wisely with patience means your $100 today can become $1,000, $10,000, or even $100,000 over time. And the principle is the same for everyone. Invest in what you know, stay patient, and let time do the magic. Avoid the pitfalls most people don't see. Most people think investing is only about the stock market. They ignore the bigger picture. Money spent impulsively is money not invested. High-interest debt destroys your multiplier. Waiting too long to start gives time to the rich get richer effect. Lynch's philosophy is simple but radical. Save, invest, and give your money a chance to grow. Even a small monthly investment, if consistent, will transform your financial future. The mental shift that changes everything. Here's the psychological trick Lynch taught. Stop thinking about money as something to spend now. Start thinking about money as a seed. Every dollar saved and invested is a seed that grows into a forest. When you grasp this, small daily choices suddenly become life-changing. Skipping an expensive coffee isn't a loss. It's planting a seed. Buying a second-hand item instead of a brand new one. It's a seed. Avoiding that unnecessary gadget. Another seed. Over time, these seeds combine into a financial forest so big it can't be ignored. Bringing it all together, Peter Lynch's rules are not just for the super rich or professional investors. They are for anyone willing to stop wasting money. Start saving and investing wisely. Let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. Because if you follow these steps, your $100 today could become $10,000 in 20 years. Your small daily habits will define your future wealth. You can break the cycle of being broke forever.
Everyday money habits that keep you broke, and how Lynch's rule fixes them. Most people think financial freedom is about luck, winning the lottery, or getting a promotion. But Peter Lynch knew the truth. People don't lose money in the stock market. They lose it in their everyday life. This is where the biggest trap lies. 1. Impulse spending. Every day, billions are wasted on things that bring temporary pleasure but no long-term value. That expensive coffee you didn't need. The newest phone when your old one works fine. Subscriptions you forgot about. Each little purchase feels harmless, but add them up over months and years, and you've wasted thousands of dollars that could have grown with compounding. Lynch's rule? Pause before spending. Ask, will this help me build wealth or just satisfy a momentary craving? 2. High-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, and payday advances can eat your money alive. Even if you earn a lot, paying 20 to 30% interest is a silent killer. Peter Lynch emphasized, the fastest way to lose money is to pay interest on money you don't have. Debt doesn't just prevent investing, it destroys the compounding effect. Pay off high-interest debt first, then start investing. 3. Living beyond your means. Many people think lifestyle inflation is a reward for hard work, but Peter Lynch warns, lifestyle creep keeps you broke. You get a raise, buy a bigger car. You get a promotion, rent a fancier apartment. You see friends spending, feel pressure to keep up. Instead, Lynch's advice, spend less than you earn and invest the difference. Even a small gap between income and expenses, invested consistently, creates massive long-term wealth. 4. Lack of financial awareness. Most people never track their money. They don't know how much comes in, how much goes out, or where it disappears. Peter Lynch stressed, you can't grow what you don't measure. Start simple. Track every dollar for a month. Identify leaks in your spending. Redirect that money toward investments or savings. Once you see the patterns, you'll be shocked at how much wasted money could have been working for you. 5. The magic of small, consistent habits. The real power of Lynch's rule isn't a secret investment trick. It's consistent action over time. Saving a little each month, investing in what you understand, avoiding unnecessary spending. These small, seemingly boring steps compound over years into financial freedom. Think of it as planting a forest, one tree at a time. Skipping a day? No problem. But start today, and decades later, you'll be standing in a financial forest others only dream about. Putting it all together. Everyday money habits shape your financial destiny. Impulse spending? Stop it. High-interest debt? Destroy it. Lifestyle creep? Avoid it. Track your money. Invest consistently. This is Peter Lynch's secret. Not flashy tricks, not gambling on trends. Simple, disciplined, everyday habits that make wealth inevitable. Peter Lynch's simple strategies anyone can use to build wealth. Peter Lynch didn't just tell people to invest, he showed them how to invest. And the surprising truth, his strategies were not complicated, not mathematical, not exclusive to rich people. They were simple, practical, and built for normal people with normal incomes. Today, you'll learn the core Lynch strategies that helped millions grow their money, strategies you can start using immediately even with small amounts. Strategy 1. Invest in what you understand. Your everyday life is your advantage. This is Lynch's most famous idea. He believed normal people have an edge over professionals. Why? Because you see trends before Wall Street sees them. A restaurant everyone is talking about. A product people love. A store always full. A brand every kid wants. A subscription you use every day. Professional investors spend millions researching these things. You see them in real life for free. Lynch said, if you use the product and love it, that's step 1 to understanding the business. You don't need to be an expert. You only need awareness. Strategy 2. The business, not the stock philosophy. Most people ask, will the stock go up? Peter Lynch asked, is the business good? He focused on, how does the company make money? Are people buying the product? Does the business grow every year? Is the debt low? Are profits consistent? He knew something powerful. Stock prices follow business performance, not the other way around. If the business is strong, the stock price eventually rises. Strategy 3. The 10-bagger mindset. Finding life-changing investments. Lynch made this famous. A 10-bagger is a stock that grows to 10 times its original value. People think this is rare. Peter Lynch didn't. He believed that every year there are hundreds of opportunities for 10-baggers. Most people never notice. Why? Because most people don't pay attention, sell too early, or avoid small companies. But small companies often grow the fastest, and if you understand their business, you can spot winners early. Strategy 4. Long-term patience. The secret that makes the magic work. Lynch said, the real money is made in the waiting. Most people buy a stock, then panic if it drops.
then sell out when they get bored, then chase something else. This destroys compounding. Peter Lynch held his great investments for years, sometimes decades. He didn't care about temporary dips because great companies recover and grow even more. Strategy 5. Don't try to time the market. Nobody can predict short-term moves. Lynch often said more money has been lost trying to time the market than in the market itself. People try to guess when the market will crash, when the market will rise, when the perfect moment will come. He insisted the perfect moment is now. Invest consistently, every month, every year. Let the market's long-term growth work for you. Strategy 6. Keep it simple. Lynch laughed at complicated strategies. He didn't believe in crypto hype, secret formulas, gurus promising fast returns, risky day trading, get-rich-quick plans. His approach was simple. Understand a business, invest, wait. That's it. Strategy 7. Use ETFs or index funds if you prefer easy investing. Peter Lynch knew most people are busy. Not everyone wants to research companies, so he recommended something incredibly simple. Invest in low-cost index funds. You get instant diversification, stable long-term growth, zero stress, automatic compounding. This is how normal people can build wealth even if they never pick individual stocks. Strategy 8. Stay calm when others panic. Lynch said the key to making money in stocks is not getting scared out of them. When the market drops, most people freak out. They sell out of fear. They lose money. Then they avoid investing for years. But Lynch understood the truth. Market crashes are discount seasons, a chance to buy more at lower prices, a chance to accelerate your wealth. Panic makes the poor poorer. Patience makes the patient wealthy. Your mindset is more important than your money. Peter Lynch believed everyone has the brain to make money, not everyone has the stomach. You don't need high income, special knowledge, fancy degrees. You need discipline, calm, long-term thinking, consistency. That's how everyday people transform their financial life. Bringing it all together, Peter Lynch's strategies are powerful because they're simple. Understand what you invest in. Focus on long-term growth. Invest consistently. Stay patient. Let compounding work. Don't panic. Don't chase trends. Don't overspend in real life. These small, steady actions create massive wealth over time.
The rule that removes 80% of your financial stress. Here's the truth most people never realize. Money problems don't come from one big mistake. They come from hundreds of tiny decisions you barely notice. And Peter Lynch's rule exposes this perfectly. He said, if you can control your habits, your wealth will grow automatically. It sounds simple, but this single idea is powerful enough to change your entire financial life. Let me explain how. Think about your last 30 days. Not the big purchases, not the major bills, the little things. The snacks you grabbed because they were only a few dollars. The subscriptions you forgot were still active. The rides you booked instead of walking 10 minutes. The upgrades you chose because they felt small. Individually, each one feels harmless, but together, they quietly drain 40 to 70% of your disposable income every single month. And this is exactly where Lynch's rule hits hardest. Track what you think doesn't matter, because that's what's destroying your financial future. People always track the big expenses, but the small ones slip through. And that's how people stay broke even when they earn well. Here's the life-changing shift. If you control the small leaks, you eliminate 80% of your money stress. And the moment you become aware of these small leaks, something incredible happens. You don't need to work harder. You don't need a higher salary. You don't need a new strategy. You simply stop losing money on things that never mattered in the first place. Peter Lynch wasn't teaching budgeting. He was teaching awareness. Because once you become aware, you naturally spend differently. You become more intentional, more selective, more confident with money. And soon, the money you used to waste starts building your savings, then your investments, then your future. This is why Lynch's rule is so powerful. It gives you back control. Not someday, not next year, today.